Hello guys, I'm Ismail. In today's presentation, I will just try to talk about the importance of architecture. It's not a simple topic or just an easy one just to talk about. We do have too many things just to talk and discuss, and to make arguments about it. But I will try, and actually I tried to put it in 4 points, just to let you guys just think with me or just think in the way that I'm thinking. This video actually related to oral communication for engineers, and it's in Coursera website. So it is a course that I'm making the presentation for it. So as I try to put these 4 points to talk about, it will be just a brief, guys, because I don't have that much time just to talk about the importance of architecture. It's not an easy thing, as I said. It is like another world to talk about it. So first of all, I will just try to talk about the history. So what is the importance of architecture, or especially with this one? So we could see, first, as an example, this temple of Zeus. It's an example from the Greek culture or the Greek era, let's say. So when I'm saying it's an example from it, so we could know that, or we could just understand architecture is a way of creating the culture itself. Even if we just saw this example, it's the Great Pyramid in Egypt. So we do have many questions, or we could find many questions to ask. By these questions, we could directly maybe understand we are talking about a culture. It is the Egyptian culture. It has like an amazing one, which doesn't end, and it has all it takes too long time just to end. If we just saw this example, we will find too many questions to ask, like the material used, how they did it. At the end, we will just reach to a point where we are talking about a culture. So one of the most important thing of architecture, especially which is related to history, it is a way of creating a culture. Now we could say it's a postmodern or the modern. Let's say we are in the postmodern now. We are creating our culture. We are creating a culture of postmodern time. So something else, I will just talk about the psychology. What I want from you guys, just when I'm talking about these 4 points, just take some points from it, because at the end I will just like collect them at a point where there is an idea which I want you just to understand. The psychology, which is something related to a purpose. When we are looking at this example, which is the Blue Mosque, in Turkey, it's the interior of it. We could see the high roofs. Even in here, in this example, it's the Orleans Cathedral. It's in French. We could see, these high roofs, which has a purpose. Why we did it. So we are talking about a religious building now, and we are looking at this example, which has these high roofs. And if I took it as a piece, so the mosque is a piece, and me as a user is another piece. So we are the small one. So we do have a purpose why they did it in this way, because they want the user just to feel that he is or she is the small piece according to this huge masterpiece, let's say, which has its purpose. So the purpose of it actually is just to let you feel that you are the small one, just to let you obey this place. By obeying this place, which is the house of the God, even if it's in Islam or the Christian religion or anything else, it is the way of letting you feel that there is something. I'm in a huge thing, and by this way you will obey. You will just directly find a way just to relate, or just to make a relation between you and your God. So from this point also, it has a purpose. So looking at the mosque as a religious building, and then moving into thinking as a residential building, a small house, maybe a villa to apartment villa. So even that house has a purpose. So by respecting the purpose of the place, the importance of architecture is one of the things is let me and you respect the place, respect the purpose of the place, of this place that I'm leaving. Something is the value. So let's remember together, we do have the history, we do have creating a culture. Something else, we do have the purpose of it. The third thing is the value. So when I'm talking about the value, by considering everything, for me as an architect, if I'm doing a project, I do have to think about many things, it's not important for you, for I mean, as a user, just to think with me, but it's important for me to work for you, to do something for you which has a value. Even let's go back to our example, which is, I mean, a residential house. Without a value, the house has no meaning. Like, for example, for me as an architect, I do have to think about the site. I do have to think about you as a user, about everything about you, everything about the site, all the principle, all the regulation, everything about this project, just to give it a value. By this sketching, or like sketches which you can see in architecture, we could call it as a concept, you know. Concept is, in simple way, it is the solution. After, like for me as an architect, if I just started a project, I will start to think about all these things, the site, the user, etc. I mean, and then to try to find a solution. This solution, or the ideal solution, let's say, it is the concept. So the concept is the solution of my site, of my problem. If I call it or name it as a problem, which is the project, which you can see now, it is a way of maybe creating the elevations, creating the circulation, solving, I mean, the circulation, thinking in this example, which is at the middle, I mean, comparing, I mean, the proportion, the building size, the user size. So it is something which we call it, I mean, the human scaled one. So thinking about the thinking about the human scale. And even in here in these examples, which you can see, we do have like many shapes. We could consider it as consider it as masses. We are thinking about the relation of these masses, the circulation of the people around it. I mean, we are thinking about the user always and always, how the user will see the building, how the building will affect me. When I'm saying how the building will affect me, I mean, we will come back to the point of psychology. So I tried, I mean, in this presentation, just to give you a brief. I'm sorry, I'm talking in hurry, but because we do have like a short time to talk. So something else, as I said, I try to put these 4 points just to make them, or to feel that there is a relation. When you can see here, um, these masses. So as I said, we are thinking about the building, how the user will think, how the user will behave in this space, how the user will move. So it is a value. So at the end, actually, I put it as a hiring. I put it as a hiring because it is really important for you guys, for you as a user. If you do have a project and you want to design it, it's really important for me, or for you, sorry, to hire the right person. Because hiring the right person, hiring the right architect who respect his job first, who is not only thinking about the money, you know, who is thinking about the environment. Because now it's about the environment and about you and about the project itself. Because now, especially now, we are in a time where especially architecture is playing a major, I mean, role, especially with our environment, you know, because like we do have the environmental issues now, and we do have really to work together to solve these issues. Because if we didn't, we are not going to live that much, and even if we did, the next generation will not, because we will destroy our environment, we will destroy our earth, you know. So I put a point here, which is, I mean, the style of our life. When I'm saying the right person or hiring the right person, because the person who is thinking about me also. When I'm saying about me, for example, as an architect, or about you as maybe you do have a different job as a teacher, as a lawyer. So you do have a different style of life, you know, you do have different morning mood, evening mood, like everything. I mean, you do have different lifestyle. I do have even a different one. So the architect must think about you as a user, about your job, about your activities, about your everything, because you will first, I mean, as a client, just sit with him, sit with the architect, talk with him. So even like let him understand everything about you, just to let him, I mean, think in a way that he could make a value. This is the value that I'm talking about. Making a value of the home. If you are just sitting in your sitting room, dining room, kitchen, etc., I mean, you will remember, okay, this building or this home is serving me, is working with me. So I do have like this mood at the morning, and I do have this place or this function, which is, I mean, serving me. So it is a way of creating the value of the building. Something else, it is something affecting our psychology. If I did feel, this place is not functional one. Like I don't have like this lifestyle, this home or this space, let's say if I call it as a space, it's just a normal cube that I do have. I'm using it as a shelter only. I'm not using it as a lifestyle, let's say. If I call it a lifestyle, because architecture actually it's a shape of life, you know. This is the point. Lastly, I will just make you also remember how to help my environment. I just put it as a question, because guys, hiring the good architect working for you, for example, you can just think in this way: what is my turn, or just my turn to help the environment. So it's not only just working with the environment, doing other things, especially the thing that is related to architecture. If you want to design well, or if you want to live well, if you want to help your environment, design well. So lastly, I will just say it: if you want to live well, design well. And that was everything, guys, for today. I'm really happy for me as an architect, just to help you guys to design something, to think with you about your solution, about your way of life, let's say, about doing something will serve you, will function just for you, will work just for you. If you want, actually, I will leave like my email and my Instagram account in the description, and also you can just contact me, and I will really be happy just to work with you and to think with you. Thank you.